Dear learners and viewers, welcome to this program of the School of Business. This program has been designed and developed for the students of our MBA program. Students of other programs like SIMBA, BBA and PGDM are expected to be benefited from this program. Today we are going to discuss leadership. This topic you will find in lesson 1 and 2 of unit 9 of your book on Principles of Management. Upon completion of this discussion, you will be able to define leadership, distinguish between management and leadership, discuss the ingredients of leadership, explain leadership based on the use of authority, discuss Likker's 4 systems of management, explain leadership styles described in Managerial Grid by Blake and Morton. Dear learners and viewers, leadership is an essential and important skill for achieving individual, group and organizational goals. Leaders act to help a group achieve its goal through the maximum utilization of its capabilities. Leaders do not stand behind a group to push and prod, but they place themselves before a group as they assist in doing the works and in inspiring the group to perform the task. Dear learners, leadership have different meanings to various authors, but for our purpose we will define leadership. Leadership is the art or process of influencing people so that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically toward the achievement of group goals. Ideally, people should be encouraged not only to develop their willingness to work, but also their willingness to work with zeal and confidence. Zeal is earnestness and the intensity in execution of work, and confidence represents experience and technical capabilities. Dear learners and viewers, many of you often ask the question if leadership and managership are synonyms. The answer is no. Leadership and management are not necessarily the same. Leadership can arise in any situation where people join their efforts to accomplish a task. Let us see the difference. There can be leaders of completely unorganized groups. There can be managers only where organized structure creates role. A leader is not formally recognized in the organization's hierarchy. A manager is a person formally recognized in the organization's hierarchy. You will find there are managing directors, general manager, research managers or administration managers. They are recognized in the organizational hierarchy, but the traditional leaders who are only the leader, they are not recognized in the organizational hierarchy. They don't have any place in the organizational hierarchy. A good manager is always a good leader, but a good leader is not necessarily a good manager. Dear learners and viewers, leadership is a compound of at least 4 major ingredients. The ability to use power effectively and in a responsible manner. The ability to comprehend that human beings have different motivation forces at different times and in different situations. The ability to inspire and the ability to act in a manner that will develop a climate conducive to responding and arousing motivations. The first ingredients of leadership is power. This is the ability to induce or influence others. In organizational settings, there are at least 5 categories of power: legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, referent power, and expert power. Legitimate power is the same as authority that is derived from organizational hierarchy. The reward power is the ability to give or withhold reward. Coercive power is the ability to force compliance through psychological, physical, and emotional threats. Referent power is the influence that individual or group have on public because they have believe in them or their ideas. Expert power is derived from knowledge, like the power of a teacher, of a doctor, or engineer. The second ingredient of leadership is a fundamental understanding of people. A manager should be aware of the nature and strength of human needs and be able to plan and design the ways to satisfy customers or the employees' needs, and thus to administer as to how to improve their motivation and thus increase their level of performance. The third ingredient of leadership is the ability to inspire followers. Inspiration to do something usually comes from leaders who may have qualities of charm and appeal that give rise to loyalty, devotion, and a strong desire on the part of the followers to promote what the leader wants. This is not a matter of need satisfaction, rather it is an unselfish support from the followers to their leaders. The fourth ingredient of leadership is to do with the style of leaders and the climate he or she has developed. It is the main functions of leader is to create an environment in which people will be motivated to put forth their efforts enthusiastically and willingly towards the achievement of a high level of performance. Dear learners and viewers, there are several theories on leadership behavior, some of which are as follows: leadership based on the use of authority, Likker's 4 systems of management, and leadership style described in Managerial Grid developed by Robert Blake and Jenny Morton. Leadership based on the uses of authority may be of 3 types: autocratic, democratic, free rein. Autocratic leaders centralize power and decision making in them. An autocratic leader gives orders and expects compliance. Autocratic leadership is typically negative and based on coercive power, that is, they motivate through threats and punishment. But it can appear to be positive, as demonstrated by the benevolent autocrat who chooses to give some rewards to employees. Figure 1 illustrates the flow of influence in the autocratic leadership situation, that the influence flows from top to bottom. Democratic or participative leaders consult with subordinates on proposed actions and decisions and encourage participation from them. This type of leader ranges from the person who does not take action without subordinates' concurrence to the one who makes decisions but consults with subordinates before doing so. Figure illustrates the flow of influence in the democratic leadership situation. It flows from both upward and downward. Free rein leader uses his or her power very little, if at all, giving subordinates a high degree of independence in their operations. Such leaders depend largely on subordinates to set their own goals and the means of achieving them. They see their role as one of aiding the operations of followers by furnishing them with information and acting primarily as a contact with the group's external environment. Figure illustrates the flow of influence in free rein leadership. It flows from bottom to up. Professor Rancis Likard and his associates of the University of Michigan have studied the pattern and style of leaders and managers. In the course of their studies, they identified and recommended 4 types of management. These includes exploitative authoritative management, benevolent authoritative management, consultative management, and participative management. Exploitative authoritative managers are highly autocratic, have little trust and belief in subordinates, engage in downward communications, and limit decision making to top. Benevolent authoritative managers have patronizing confidence in subordinates, motivate people with rewards with some punishment, engage in some downward communications, but solicits subordinates' opinions and ideas, allow some delegations, but with close policy control. Consultative managers have substantial confidence and trust in subordinates, use rewards for motivation with occasional punishment. They encourage subordinates' opinion and make use of their ideas. Usually they try to engage in both upward and downward communications, make broad policy making and general decision at the top, while allowing specific decision to be made at the bottom, and act consultatively in other ways. Participative managers have complete trust and confidence in subordinates in all matters. They always get ideas from subordinates and constructively use them. They always engage in much communication both upward and downward and with peers. They encourage decision making process throughout the organizations, and they award on the basis of group participation and involvement in such areas as goal setting. Leakers find that those managers who applied the participative management are the most effective managers. A well-known approach to describing leadership style is Managerial Grid, developed by Robert Blake and Jenny Morton. The grid has 2 dimensions: concern for people and concern for production. Concern for people includes the attitudes of a supervisor toward a wide variety of things, such as degree of personal commitment toward goal achievement, maintenance of self-esteem of workers, placement of responsibility on the basis of trust rather than obedience, provision of good working conditions, and good interpersonal relations. Concern for production includes the attitudes of a supervisor toward a wide variety of things, such as the quality of policy decisions, procedures and progress, creativeness of research, quality of staff services, work efficiency, and volume of output. The bidimensional leadership grid has identified a range of leadership style based on the interaction between concern for production and concern for people. Please see the figure. Each style is expressed as a continuum on a scale of 1 to 9. Although there are 81 possible positions in the grid. Attention is drawn to 5 of them. Style 1-1 management is impoverished management with low concern for both people and production. This leader would attempt to stay out of the way and not become involved in the conflict between the necessities for production and the attainment of good working relationship. Style 1-9 management is country club management, having high concern for employees but low concern for production. This leader believes that a supervisor's major responsibility is the establishment of harmonious relationship among subordinates and to provide a secure and pleasant work atmosphere. Style 5-5 management is middle of the road management with medium concern for production and for people. A leader so described would seek to compromise between high production and employee satisfaction. Style 9-1 management is authoritarian management with high concern for production but low concern for employees. This type of leader believes that the primary responsibility is to see that the work is completed. Style 9-9 management is team management with high concern for both production and employee morale and satisfaction. This type of leader seeks to achieve high production through the effective use of participation and involvement of people and their ideas. Black and Morton strongly argued that Style 9-9 is the most effective leadership. They believe this leadership approach will, in almost situations, result in improved performance, low turnover and absenteeism, and high employee satisfaction. Dear learners and viewers, hope you have been benefited from today's discussion on leadership. If you have still any problem, please identify the problem and go through your books and ask your tutors in the next tutorial session. Thank you so much for having a patient hearing and viewing the program.